beat a man whose hobby is trying to take himself out. This is the central paradox of Kaido, the Governor General of the Beast Pirates. His introduction isn't one of scheming or ambition, but of profound, overwhelming boredom. He is the world's strongest creature, a being so durable that every attempt to execute him has failed. A force of nature who has grown weary of a world that cannot even grant him the release of a glorious death. The final battle of Wano Country arc is more than a simple brawl. It is a clash of fundamental ideologies, the culmination of a saga over a decade in the making, and the definitive answer to a question Kaido himself has been asking for years. Who is Joy Boy? This isn't just a recap. Today we're breaking down every round, every power-up, and every theme that makes Luffy vs. Kaido one of the greatest fights in anime history. To understand how Luffy overcame this unbreakable wall, we have to understand just how high that wall was. If you're ready for a deep dive, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell because you won't want to miss this. First, the stage. For 20 years, the nation of Wano has languished under the tyrannical rule of Kaido and his puppet shogun, Kurozumi Orochi. Its rivers run thick with industrial poison, its forests are barren, and its people starve, while the elite feast. In places like Ebisu Town, citizens are forced to wear permanent smiling faces, a cruel mockery of their suffering. This is not a pirate turf war. It is a fight for the very soul of a nation. It's in this despair that Monkey D. Luffy first arrives, and in a moment of characteristic impulsiveness, upon seeing his friend Tama harmed, Luffy confronts the Emperor directly. This is round 1, taking place in episode 915. Luffy unleashes the full might of his Gear 4th transformation. He throws everything he has at a drunken Kaido, only to be met with a single devastating blow from Kaido's Kanabo, Thunder Agua. Luffy is defeated instantly, a humiliating one-shot that stands as his most one-sided loss since the time skip. This moment was critical. It establishes an almost unfathomable gap in power. Raw strength and determination were not going to be enough. So, how did he close that gap? The journey to this rooftop began years earlier, in the Punk Hazard arc, where the Straw Hats first formed a strategic alliance with Trafalgar, with the explicit goal of overthrowing an emperor. This wasn't a random encounter. It was the payoff to a storyline that had been building for hundreds of episodes. Central to this journey is the vow Luffy made to Momonosuke. He promised the young heir that he will defeat Kaido and liberate his country. This reframes Luffy's motivation. He isn't a traditional hero. He's a pirate driven by a deeply personal promise to a friend. This is pure Luffy. His greatest feats have always been in the service of protecting his friends and their dreams, the core tenet that defines his unique brand of piracy. Luffy's initial defeat showed he couldn't even properly damage Kaido. His imprisonment in the Udon labor camps, while seemingly a setback, became the crucible in which he forged the first necessary tool for victory. Under the tutelage of the old Yakuza boss Hyogoro, Luffy mastered an advanced application of armament Haki, known in Wano as Ryo. This technique allows the user to project their Haki from their body, creating an invisible barrier that can destroy targets from the inside out. The narrative explicitly presents this as a key to bypassing Kaido's legendary, seemingly invulnerable skills. This progression reveals a deeper thesis on the power system of One Piece. Kaido himself dismisses the importance of Devil Fruit, stating that true supremacy is achieved through Haki. And at first, the fight seems to validate this. Luffy needs advanced armament Haki just to land a blow. Later, he needs advanced Conqueror's Haki to truly compete. However, the ultimate victory is secured through the awakening of his Devil Fruit. This isn't a contradiction, but a synthesis. The highest echelon of power requires the perfect harmonization of both. Luffy's mastery of Haki allowed him to survive long enough for his fruit's awakening. Kaido's downfall was his underestimation of what a supposedly ridiculous devil fruit could achieve when wielded by someone with supreme Haki. With the tools forged, the final assault began. The raid on Onigashima, what follows is not a simple duel, but a war of attrition where Kaido is forced to endure a relentless gauntlet of powerful foes on the rooftop of his stronghold. This phase, dubbed Roof Piece by the community, is crucial. Before his final one-on-one with Luffy, Kaido takes significant damage. The 9 red scabbards reopen the only scar ever left on his body. He then faces 5 members of the worst generation at once: Luffy, Law, Kid, Zoro, and Killer. Zoro unleashes an Ashura attack that permanently scars the Emperor, and Law uses his Gamma knife to inflict massive internal damage. After this, Kaido's own child, Yamato, intervenes, fighting her father to a standstill and further draining his stamina. This is not a clean 1v1. Kaido's legendary endurance is systematically worn down. The structure serves as a powerful narrative refutation of Kaido's entire ideology. As a former apprentice of the Rock's pirates, a crew infamous for its internal strife, Kaido's worldview is built on the belief that pirates will always betray one another and that solitary strength is all that matters. The raid on Onigashima is the thematic antithesis of this philosophy. Kaido, the lone dragon, is systematically dismantled by a massive coalition built on trust and shared purpose. Collective will triumphs over individual tyranny. After being knocked down again, Luffy has a breakthrough. He realizes that, like Kaido, he can infuse his attacks with Conqueror's Haki. The subsequent clash between them is so powerful that it splits the very heavens, a visual feat previously only seen between emperors like Whitebeard and Shanks. This is the undeniable confirmation that Luffy has finally reached their level. The fight transcends the physical and becomes a battle of pure will. And Kaido's reaction is not anger, but exhilaration. In Luffy, he sees the potential for the glorious, meaningful battle he has craved his entire life. His past is one of being used as a tool, a child soldier, sold to the Marines, a pawn in the Rock's pirates. He is haunted by the shame of his dishonorable victory over Odin. His suicidal tendencies are a symptom of his search for meaning. He has come to believe that only the legendary figure of Joy Boy can grant him the death he desires. And in Luffy's indomitable will, he begins to see that possibility. The battle reaches its most critical low point when victory seems within Luffy's grasp, and he prepares to land a decisive blow. An agent from the world government, CP0, interferes, distracting him for a crucial second. This allows Kaido to land a devastating and seemingly fatal attack. Below, Momonosuke senses Luffy's presence fade. For the Alliance, all hope seems lost. But then, a sound, a strange, joyful beat far away. The ancient elephant, Zunisha, hears it and makes a startling declaration. For the first time in 800 years, the drums of liberation are sounding. Joy Boy has returned. This moment triggers one of the most significant lore revelations in the entire series. The Gomen Gomen no Mi was a lie, a name created by the world government to hide the fruit's true nature. Its real name is the Hito Hito no Mi, Mado Nika, a mythical Zoan fruit. The user doesn't just gain a rubber body, they embody the spirit of the warrior of liberation, the legendary sun god, Nika, a figure worshipped by slaves who brought them freedom and smiles. Luffy is the current inheritor of this will, the perfect vessel, not by destiny, but by character. The awakening of this fruit unlocks Luffy's ultimate form, Gear 5. The 5 elders describe its power as the most ridiculous in the world. It grants Luffy's rubber body even greater freedom, limited only by his imagination. He can fight in any cartoonish way he conceives, altering his own shape and size, and even transmuting his surroundings and other living beings into rubber. Kaido, in utter disbelief, says, It's like something straight out of a comic strip. And this is a profound meta-narrative statement. The shonen genre is often characterized by power escalation that leads to increasingly grim and serious fights. One Piece subverts this entirely. At the absolute zenith of his strength, facing the world's strongest creature, Luffy becomes the most joyful, free, and utterly ridiculous he has ever been. His heartbeat is the drums of liberation, and his power explicitly brings smiles to people's faces. True strength, the kind that can change the world, is not found in anger or hatred. It is found in boundless joy and the absolute freedom to laugh in the face of despair. The final round is a complete tonal shift. Luffy, now pure white, laughs with wild abandon as he treats the strongest creature like a plaything. This is a symbolic clash of joy versus despair, freedom versus tyranny, and boundless imagination versus overwhelming brute force. As the battle reaches its climax, Kaido unleashes his most powerful attack, Blazing Bagua, shrouding his body in a magma dragon. In response, Luffy prepares his own final move, the Gum Gum Bajrang Gun. He inflates his fist to the size of the entire island and imbues it with every form of advanced Haki he has mastered. This is more than just a punch. It carries the weight of his promise to Momonosuke, the hopes of the Scabbards, the 20 years of suffering of the people of Wano, and 800 years old inherited will of Joy Boy. It is the fist that will finally bring the dawn. The impact is absolute. Luffy's fist overpowers Kaido's flames and sends him deep into the earth. As he falls, Kaido reflects on his defeat, finally acknowledging that Luffy is indeed the Joy Boy he has been waiting for. In this moment, his lifelong quest is fulfilled. He has received the glorious, world-shaking death he always craved. As Kaido is defeated, the oppressive clouds that have shrouded Wano finally dissipate. Momonosuke, using his own dragon powers, saves the Flower Capital, cementing his role as Wano's new protector and transforming the image of a dragon from a symbol of fear into one of hope. The battle and Kaido's reign officially conclude in episode 1076. The aftermath sends shockwaves across the globe. With the defeat of two emperors, the world balance is shattered. Monkey D. Luffy is officially declared one of the new four emperors, marking his arrival as one of the paramount figures in the pirate world. Wano is finally free. Ultimately, the battle between Luffy and Kaido was never just about who could punch harder. It was a definitive statement on the nature of strength. Kaido represented solitary oppressive force born with nihilism. Luffy represented collective liberating power born from joy, friendship, and the will to protect others. In the end, the will to free your friends proved stronger than the will to destroy the world. The dawn didn't just rise on Wano, it rose on a new era for the entire world. This fight was the culmination of years of storytelling, with dozens of unforgettable moments. What was your favorite part of the raid on Onigashima? Was it Zoro scarring Kaido, Luffy splitting the sky, or the sheer madness of Gear 5? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty of more analyses on the way as we sail towards the final saga. Thanks for watching. Love you guys, man. Y'all make doing this work ball. Y'all make doing this work worth and what it is. Love y'all, man. I'll see y'all on another one. Seemlytuber out. Peace.